While you were going about your day.
Flying disc.
God bless all of you.
Yeah. DUM number 8.
8.
8.
Otto.
And you know what happens if you turn an 8 90 degrees right? It turns into infinity. Yeah, so on this show today, we're just handpicking news from all over the place, and I got some feedback from the last show saying that I was a bit too overexcited and I should definitely tone it down a bit, so I'm just going to speak like this for the rest of the show.
What we're going to do is turn news into words, bits into chopped up into parts that you chopped up you can put together in your head.
Yeah. On this show, actually, most of the tunes that we've chose are non-copyright, so we're trying to do our bit for all the people out there that need to be heard, and we went and checked out a Boone party with Spit Shake Sisters and Tiger Cub making an appearance later, and also Get Cubs, and we've got their tune coming up first. So Elliot,
Yeah.
first astronaut in space from UK.
So the first UK astronaut to go into space, is that right?
Well, I'm just trying to say, are you excited?
I am!
Are you excited? Because you're going to be going up there, dude, and I don't know how much training you're going to get.
Going into space, going into space, gonna go to the moon. Oh, space. Oh, space.
And you sat next to me, and you sat next to me. It was about 2 years above yesterday. And you looked into my eyes, and you said to me that you would hate to be in my life or in this body. Tell me things that you've seen of me, of me, oh me.
Cubs.
He's never had a sip sack on a howlack. You know what I mean? It's all hip hop dipped up. Wing wong, bang bong. It's lang as fuck. Make some sh.
As if you're the lead singer, you should be the lead rapper.
I said I do like to rap. Dad's got a coat. He lives in a moat. Never driven a boat and he likes a car, but he's...
Yes, Mud Collective, you know what I'm saying, you know how we do. Burn on Trent, hang tight.
I've got a little pet called Gav. He looks like a chav. He dresses really nice, but he lives in Top Man.
Get Cubs. Okay, so something that's been in the news this week, a tornado hit America.
It's not funny.
But then some people have actually been chasing the storm and actually managed to capture it in a bottle, or many bottles, but I'm not sure. I mean, what are they going to do with it when they've captured it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty mean feat chasing a storm for a start, and then, finding the bottles in the right place.
When the storm is in the bottle, does it just continue looking like a storm in the bottle? That's the desired outcome, but is that the actual, the physical outcome?
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you went on holiday when you were a kid and you bought those bottles of sand and they had decorative images in them. I mean, I think that maybe that's where they're going to be going with them, isn't it?
I mean, at Christmas you get the Christmas shakers where it's like an ornament and you give it a shake and it looks like it's snowing. I mean, is that a real snowstorm that they've captured there, or is that some sort of trickery? Because it looks really realistic.
I think it depends on what kind of branding they do, because I think if you go for the higher end, yes, it is a storm. In a variety of different options, I suppose. Like you've got heavy snow, light snow, and then obviously you've got cheap ass glitter, which isn't real.
You've got them, them instruments, the rain kind of sticks where you turn them upside down and it sounds like rain.
Yeah.
How do they make them waterproof enough to, keep the rain in there when they're made out of wood as well, and it sounds just like rain. How do they, what other kind of weather systems can we get?
Well, I mean, I think an area in the market that hasn't been attained is grey. Why not reinvent grey weather to make it more attractive?
Yeah, so like overcast.
Exactly. Have you seen my new overcast on the mantelpiece? Oh yeah, fuck! I want overcast!
You could sell it to maybe people that have emigrated to Australia that are really sick and tired of all the sunshine, that relentless good weather. It's it really gets to you, and just sell them a bit of grey. A little bit of grey.
Yeah, exactly. Or someone that has a sunny disposition, give them a bit of grey.
Yeah.
Even them out.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got sun. Lamps have been invented so long ago, and it was quite hard for them to actually go to the sun and get a little bit of sun. Now we've got a tune by Alphabet's Heaven called Feather that he's put up for download. It's from Brighton, and check him out. I've seen him doing a few live shows. He's really crazy on them MPDs and NPCs, so check it.
Going into space, space, going into space, gonna get the moon, out of space.
So everyone's heard of Google and you know what they do. They're basically some sort of advertising monstrosity that's grown so big that they're invading everyone's everyday lives. And they've just got that new kind of that Google Glass out, haven't they? Have you seen that?
I haven't, no. Yeah, explain to me.
I mean, I've seen it. It's just like a computer that you wear on your eyes, and then it's got a little kind of screen, and then that screen displays information. It's completely voice controlled, and you know, apparently it's supposed to be the next big thing. Like you'll be able to record and communicate just straight from your glasses.
Wow.
So the future really is here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and eventually they'll probably have it linked to some sort of Google Watch, and you'll be all like, "Oh, I'm all googly moogly." What they've got in the pipeline, also I've read, is they're going to be able to telepathy searching, where you can search with your mind, basically. No. Yeah.
I struggle to imagine how the privacy issues are going to work with, you know, telepathy. So obviously when you sign up to Google, whether that's Gmail or mainly Gmail really, I suppose, you sign an agreement that they will, you know everything about
you but not use it or exploit it.
Exactly. And so, you know, you'll be writing an email and the cookies will display the correct advertisement on the right.
Yeah.
Kind of invasive to your emails. How is that going to work with your mind? Are they going to be able to access your mind? Are they going to be able to find out its quote?
Yeah, it's an insane kind of information that they might be gathering from you. You never know. Maybe they can get, you know, different information and you know, different things from your mind and that you would never even know about, possibly. But I know eventually, they've got these things called directional microphones. Right. Where if I point it at you, you can hear it, but the person next to you can't. And if I point it at them, they can hear it and you can't hear it, right? Right. Eventually, they're going to get them in like shopping lines. So when you're in a shopping line, it links to your smartphone so that it beams an advert directly to you that's customized for you and your interests, right. So eventually, maybe with this telepathy device, they're going to have these customized adverts in your brain that you just can't ever get rid of. So
you will be in a queue and without any restraint you're gonna have,
I don't know if it's dystopian or utopian. You know, I think there's a really fine line between both of them, isn't there? We've got a tune by Husman now called Pain, Weed Lament, featuring Imitri of Counteraction Sound.
Nice.
Really sick geezer, and you know, I'm all about repping, and I think Husman has done a really good job putting a whole song here together, and you know, check that bad boy out.
Special dedication. Ganja farmer. Ganja exporter. Ganja connoisseur. We're ill. Ganja professor. Ganja doctor. Boop. Authorities worldwide treat it like something from the gutter. The Rasta man will tell you it will raise your vibes much higher, give you the inspiration to deliver without stutter. I am just a messenger and Jah is my conductor. In this your journey man will surely not falter. Lyrical consciousness will remain my bread and butter. Certain kind of man looking like me like an atta, treating every dinner like it's my last supper. I feel pain, that's what I feel. Every time I see a plant chop down in the field, I feel pain. This is for real. Every time a helicopter circle my field, I feel pain. That's what I feel. Every time I see a plant chop down in the field, I feel pain. This is for real. Every time a helicopter circle my field. Give me the ganja, give me the Rizla, pass me the blender. Been working hard all day and I can't work no longer. In a meditation feel like writing 2 chapters. But as I man sit down to deliver my scripture, I hear overhead the dreadful sound of helicopter fixing to come down on my plantation like fire. As I was getting ready to make my way higher, Babylon spot my feel, I hear cheer and laughter. They're chopping down my trees like it really doesn't matter. Months I've been slaving, hoping to retire. The discipline and dedication my ganja require. All my dreams are wasted out to tell the supplier. Yes, I shouldn't tell them about the bigger field of fire. This is just the norms and I won't even perspire. I have their head spinning like that in a spin dryer. Every time they try and shoot Rasta, it misfire. I feel pain, that's what I feel. Every time a plant get chopped down in the field, I feel pain. That's what I feel. Every time a helicopter circle my field, I feel pain. That's what I feel. Every time I see a plant chop down in the field, I feel pain. This is for real. Every time my helicopter circle my field, I feel pain. That's what I feel. Every time I see a plant chop down in the field, I feel pain. And this is for real. Every time my helicopter circle my field, I feel pain. That is for real. Every time I see a plant chop down in the field, I feel pain. That's what I feel.
Stop abusing the herbs, man.
Well, no.
Never hears the healing of the nation. Go ask your doctor.
Well, no. All no.
Hustle.
Counter action.
As part of the DUM Podcast, we went to the launch of a magazine called Boon. And we chatted to a couple of guys from Tiger Cub, and then also chatted to Harrison, who will play a little bit later. He stole the mic, but that's fine.
You got me.
What do you think DUM means to you? What does DUM mean to you?
That was brilliant. So fun to watch.
I'm expecting my voice to be slowed down a lot.
Every so often, and maybe you'll just take everything out of context and make me sound cooler than I actually am.
Yeah, cool. K for Korma.
Again, the K is not going to translate, is it? Let's just have a party with a D.
Party.
It's not going to translate through podcast. It's going to translate in real, actual life. Which is what we're living right now. Except if you're listening to this on a podcast, which you're not.
Respect. That was James, the drummer from Tiger Cub, and now for the lead singer guitarist Jamie.
Hello, I am Jamie Hall, and I am a really tall northern dolphin. Yeah, like I lie down at night and I dream of dolphins, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Dolphins, they live in water, so that means that they can't lie on any side of the bed, and that means that they just exist. Dolphins, and that's exactly how I feel tonight. Over to you.
Dolphin sleeps obviously one side at a time so it doesn't drown. I mean, how do you find that when you're sleeping?
Well, like dolphins. A dolphin ejaculate through one hole. So like, all I've got to say is like, just keep it real and follow the troops.
What's it like to breathe through one hole and speak through another?
It feels really good. It feels kind of like monotone, like it feels like you're rhyming with your own feet, and that's about it.
Dolphin, they use their flippers as feet just like we use our legs as flippers.
Well, look, dolphins cannot masturbate, so like all I've got to say on that is dolphins like a shit.
Respect. So for all you nationalists out there, I know this is an international podcast with a listening base that goes far beyond the island of which we live. Yeah, but Britain had some good news this week. I know we usually have a lot of bad news, but we had some good news this week. We're having our first astronaut go to space.
Dum.
And so, Elliot, you're the one who was picked for that. I'm so proud of you.
I'm actually really humbled about it. I was a little bit stuck for words, but I think I've got it down now. So I got over the hurdle of
the fear
of getting up there.
Basically, there was this game on the internet where you've got to put your name in if you do want to actually go to space. And I was like, I don't know, it'd be well funny if Elliot went to space and then he could record the podcast in space, and that would be really, really good. And it actually turns out that he won. We looked at the live draw, names in hats, just put his name in the hat, call it Elliott-Caranci Finch, or also known as Biro Muff. I was going to say, I mean, do you know much about space?
I know it's black, and I know Stephen Hawking has a lot to do with it. There was a monkey and a dog, and a lot of glitter.
Yeah, I was going to say, the reason why space is black is because it's the same reason why the sea is blue. It like reflects the sky onto the sea, and then and it makes it look blue. And then in space has its own sky that's just completely black, and it reflects onto the space, and that's why it looks black. So
what about the moon?
Oh, the moon. Well, the moon like reflects light from the sun, or the other way around. I can't remember. The sun might reflect light from the moon, but I mean the moon is just there because the Earth gets lonely.
Okay, so the moon is white because it reflects the sun off the Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
That's scientific fact. I mean, did you know that when you're actually on the space station and you take a piss, you have to get into a piss suit for one. You just don't just go to a normal toilet. Because if you try and go to a normal toilet, it goes everywhere basically. It starts floating up, and also when you're in space, your piss is blue.
Honestly.
Yeah. Do you know why it's blue?
Why?
It's the same reason as the sea is blue, because it reflects light from the atmosphere and then makes it end up being blue. So you can have a lot of blue piss. Bring some down with you.
I did piss red one.
Well, I think it's actually the same reason. I mean, were you in a red room?
No, I wasn't actually.
I was going to say, because it's actually the same reason why the sea is blue, because it reflects light from the atmosphere.
Okay, like the moon.
Like the moon. Do you know what the closest star is to the Earth?
The sun.
No, it's the moon.
Really?
Yeah, that's why all the stars look really white, because it's the same. Because it's the same reason why the sea is blue. Basically, that's actually one of the answers to most scientific questions. Is the light reflects from the atmosphere onto the water.
Okay. You know what I'm quite excited about?
What?
Like when you go to a restaurant and you order your food at the bar, you sit down and you think, okay, we need condiments. So then one of you goes to the condiment bar, and there is like brown sauce, red sauce, tomato sauce, mayonnaise, horseradish. You bring them all back, and everyone's like, condiment pie. But in space, all you eat is condiment.
Oh, so you're quite a fan of condiments?
Yeah, in the morning you get up, choose a packet, squeeze it out, and you're done, and you're full.
Condiments. That's quite cool though, actually. And you don't actually just eat like sauce in space. They actually somehow manage to turn all them foods that you know and love from your childhood, from all the restaurants you've ever been to, and they just put
Smash.
them in, kind of like Smash. That's why they've got aliens on the Smash advert.
They are clearly a most primitive people.
And now we have a tune by Theo Verney called Bloodlet, and he's from Brighton. He literally recorded this in his room, and it sounds like it comes from like the 70s. I can hear some glam rock. I can hear a lot of different styles in there, and it's absolutely awesome. Definitely check that out. Welcome back to DUM Infinite. 8. Infinite.
Dum.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Rolf Harris now, actually. Yeah, he's back in the news again. It says here, actually, yeah, Rolf Harris returns to the stage, and yeah, I'm really glad that he's back. I haven't seen anything really much of him since Animal Hospital. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, when we were little, I mean, he was everywhere, really, wasn't he? He had that show as well where he had the wobble board, and it was like creating art, like. Can you guess what it is yet? I remember my dad always joking about that.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
I always wondered why he would like reveal, he was quite a revealer. Rolf Harris actually, when he was on Animal Hospital, actually looks like an animal. The way that he would perform anaesthetist, or he would anaesthetize animals just with a wobble board and sometimes a didgeridoo.
No.
Yeah, there's something really weird about the way he held the didgeridoo, the way that he would blow on it, and sometimes he'd blow on it and it wouldn't make a sound, and you'd always think, what's he doing? But he always knew what he was doing, I guess. So
he did have that massive hit with Two Little Boys and Two Little Toys as well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like we were saying there, like he obviously just kind of, went off the radar a little bit, and now he's returning onto the stage. It seems a bit. Why would BBC News report on that? I don't know.
I've got no idea. It's really exciting, and in Animal Hospital, behind the scenes, he loved those animals really, and he would always go and love them in his own way.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when he had his hand in a horse's arse. Excuse the language.
Oh really?
Yeah, obviously as part of the operation on the programme.
Yeah.
And, it was just so nice to see him so happy.
He looked
with his hand up there, it's not a nice position to be in. Hand in an arse, in a horse's arse.
He always smiled, and then Jake the peg, the guy with the extra leg. I mean, when I would always say to somebody, I've got an extra leg, people would think that I was talking about something rude. But the way he talks about it is that he has got an extra leg that he can use for whatever, mainly for walking a little bit faster, and then he would, do a little dance with it as well. So he'd try and entice people in, usually the audience, with his extra leg. So, I mean, I really got no idea why he's been off the stage for so long, but we're glad he's back. He's got whiter hair than ever as well, which makes him look almost godly.
Yeah, I mean, I know in Brighton, where we're recording, you do get a lot of hipsters, you do get a lot of short trousers, white socks, and I know now you're getting a lot of grey beards and glasses as well. I mean, I hope to see more of it personally.
Yeah, I mean, he was always a trendsetter, the way he looked after animals. Now everybody looks after animals in a very similar way, and that wobble board, I mean, I've got a wobble board myself, and I try and bend it, I try and use it, but I can never use it the same way he did. He would use it to, just jokingly slap you around the back of the legs, and it's like, oh, you're not even wobbling it now. Rolf, why are you grinning and kind of look angry at the same time? It's so weird. Anyway,
we're looking at the article now. It's titled Rolf Harris plays first live show since arrest.
Arrest.
He was arrested over historical sexual assault claims.
Oh my god, maybe that's what the Animal Hospital had to do with.
How embarrassing.
Oh my goodness. We should really look at the article before we read it next time, I think is probably the best thing. And now we have a tune called Whatnot Posse Cut 001, and there's quite a few of these Whatnot lads in there, like Manny D, D10, a few other people. I'm really bad at names, I'm sorry about that, but I thought this was a sick tune. You could download it for free as well. There's going to be a link to that.
So Harrison, how was your interview?
It was fucking terrible. They asked us if we'd played already. We're on camera, we're sweating like bitches. We've clearly already played. Really awkward for all of us. And then they asked us where they could buy our single. Well, clearly nowhere, because we're not signed. We're pretty much nobodies, and we don't want you to listen to our music. They asked us, they were like, well, you're clearly all boys, so you're not sisters. I was like, well, how do you not know? How do you know that? And then Stephen chimed in with post-op, and that was it.
And so, Vegas, how did the interview go in your opinion, expert opinion?
Post-op? No, I think that the interview was interesting. I think Harrison's more interested in sounding like he's really obscure and hipster.
I'm going to take over the interview now. Hello. This is Harrison reporting for DUM. Mitch died. Okay. Tom, can I ask you a question?
I've loved you since the moment I saw you.
Who are you?
I'm Shifra and I love you.
Shifra, you're great. I love you too. Tom.
Yeah, thanks first of all for talking to me today. I think that's really awesome. I like the music that you make. Yeah, well, you asked me if I loved you.
As in just me as a person. I didn't mean my band. I hate my band.
I hate your band too. It's just a wall of shit.
You guys should be called D-Mob Sultry.
Deep Throat Gaggy would be more suitable. There's several names that we could go for. But I'm a fan of you. I am a fan of you. I'm being sincere now. I've got an issue with sincerity, as you can probably notice from the last minute of soundbite.
I noticed. We're thinking about a name change to Black Death Lesbians. What do you think?
I think that would be a positive move for you guys. We in a similar boat with the Deep Throat Gaggy thing. It's just difficult, isn't it?
Maybe we should just do like a secret tour with different names. Okay, this is going nowhere. I'm going to go back to DUM. Barry, just say hello.
Hey.
Hey, that was Barry. And this is Mitch. Oh, Mitch is alive!
Hi, you don't have to keep the mic so low, so I'm speaking into your crotch, but yeah, I'm going to keep trying.
This microphone looks like a yellow penis.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about a Twitter thing that I was following. We might as well just draw from all the sources. I mean, most news mediums on the internet do draw from many, many sources and just regurgitate news. So why not regurgitate something that we like? And this is a Twitter page called, twitter.com/SoVeryBritish, and it's Very British Problems. And just as an example of one of the things it does decide to post. So a very British problem is the anxious bewilderment when clocking the stranger deciding to join the queue at your side rather than behind you. I mean, has that ever happened to you, Elliot? It's happened to me.
You know what? It hasn't necessarily happened to me, but there is a lot of other things that have happened in a supermarket in a very British way. When you do, when you see somebody in an aisle and you'll say hello to them, and it's all happy, cheering, hello, how you doing? Mm-hmm. You'll see them in the next aisle and you'll go, yeah, how's it going? You good? Yeah. You see them in the third aisle, but you're peeking round at them, and you'll go to the furthest aisle away from them just so you don't have to say hello again.
Yeah, just because it's kind of awkward, it feels awkward.
Yeah.
What about generally in a supermarket where you're just about to go and get the particular item you want, let's say baked beans or, baked cod in a can, and someone else got there before you, and they're looking at this product, and you don't just stand there behind them waiting, because that is very un-British and very rude. So you kind of turn around and start pretending to look at some other items that you definitely aren't going to buy. It's like you're looking at the dog food, you don't even have a dog, and you're like kind of every now and again looking around just to see if the person's gone yet. They go and you just instantly take that space up, and you're there like choosing your stuff, and when you turn around, some guy's looking at dog food, but they're also kind of sneaking at you. You know he was in the same position as you about 10 seconds ago.
Well, let's think of a better analogy than that. So we have two alcoholics that live downstairs. We're going to call them Mr. and Mrs. X. And Mr. and Mrs. X, we do see them in the hallway. We do see them down the street as we're walking home. And it is a very British, oh, hello, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Where are you going to now? You're going to the pub? Yeah, they're wobbling about. We're really knackered and really despise seeing them every time because they make our life really hard. Yeah. But when we see them, it's full of pleasantries. I wonder how that would be approached in a European country, and I can guarantee that it wouldn't be full of hello and pleasantries, would it?
What would they be like? Would they be like, oh, you big moose?
Yeah, they'd be like, hey, hey.
Oh, would they be like, you are below my level. Your mother is a dog, and your shoes, they are slippers.
And it's like when you walk past someone on the street and brush their shoulder, and you apologise out of reaction. Oh, it's so very British. I'm so sorry for accidentally pushing you, accidentally pushing your past you, like that's some sort of.
Do you know what? I actually only found out about 3 weeks ago that when people were saying sorry after brushing into me, they didn't actually mean it. It was like almost like sarcasm. That's disgusting, isn't it? Like, you know, oh, sorry. Oh, that was really nice of them. Oh, nice one.
Exactly, and I was at the bus stop the other day. It isn't very often I get a bus, and an old man comes up to me and asks me if I wanted a bit of his lollipop. And I thought, well, fuck this shit. Of course I'm gonna have some lollipop. So I had some of it, and the woman next to me told me that was very uncouth.
What the hell?
I know.
That's not even a compliment. She should have said, oh, that was really great of you, what you did there, like a British person. But yeah, I mean, I don't regularly get offered a lollipop by anybody. Brown lollipop.
Basketball.
In his corner, we got Dr. Dre. Spurts.
Well, that's a technical foul. The second time an illegal defensive call is made, it's a technical. So Danny Ainge has been shooting. Interestingly enough, Larry Bird was the free throw shooting champion this year, but Ainge has been shooting the tees lately. We have not seen any tempo in this game.
Welcome back to DUM. This is the final section before we play you out with a nice song.
Final.
And it's called Dump Points of View, which is something that kind of stuck. It was, we basically asked for feedback from people, you know, the general populace, whether it is man, woman or animal. And just to try and find out, you know, what they think of the show and if there's any way we can improve it. I got told last week that it was very over the top and that I really should tone it down. I've been trying to tone it down this week. Usually I'm like, oh, welcome to DUM, I'm so excited, I'm gonna get some
I have to ask, is this something that's touched a nerve with you? Because it's not very often that you don't take criticism well.
I'm not angry.
And who is it that's giving you this criticism? Are we allowed to say names?
I'm not going to say anything, but it begins with Rolf and ends in Harris.
Ah.
I thought about that, you know, Rolf Harris, Jimmy Savile thing, you know, like what they did. Like, people are definitely not going to be calling their sons Jimmy anymore, are they? And they're definitely not going to be calling them Rolf anymore.
I'm trying to think the person that I've never met a Rolf.
Yeah, so we've got a letter here saying, why don't you make a TV show? Because I'm really bored of the radio. It never really fully holds my attention. I read a book, I try and listen to DUM, and I've got all the way through DUM without listening to it, without even reading a single page. It just doesn't work. I mean, what do you think about that, Elliot? Is there any way we could do a TV show?
The first hurdle I would have thought is who we're going to have to appear in the show. And the obvious choices are one of us, except we don't have faces. So we're only decent for the radio. The next thing is a name for the show.
DUM is a type of radio. That's why we call it DUM.
Exactly. It's mainly sound waves, and you can't see them. And we're in Brighton, and listeners are in other areas of the world. So I don't know how that's going to work either.
No, not everyone's got a TV either, but everybody has a speaker. Well, you know, that was the international law that the UN put in, that everyone should have a speaker.
But we have a lampshade and some halogen bulbs and a bit of glue and a lot of love. So I think, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make a TV show.
Read this one, Elliot.
Dear DUM, I've always wanted to be on your show, and I really feel that I have a lot to give. Do you think I could have a week's work experience with you guys? How do you think someone would slot in on the show if we were to have them on work experience?
Well, we always need tea making, and, you know, to take one of us out of the situation, get someone making the tea. I think we would increase productivity on the show over 2 times of productivity.
But I've always struggled with my 2 times table. When I was in year 3, it took me over 2 months to learn the 2 times table.
It's easy, you just gotta add 2 and then times it by 10.
Yeah, but I remember when I just realised that I had to double everything, and it all come together. But is that a bit worrying that it took me that long to work that out?
No, it's not worrying at all, really. I mean, basically, when you time something... when you time something, that's just basically a number in a moment in time. It doesn't matter what you do with it. And when it's 2 times, you've got to just say the number twice as fast. That's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you make your bed.
Well, just like when you make your bed, but you've got to, sometimes if you're going to make your bed times 2, you've got to make the bed twice. But in numbers, you've got to say it twice as fast, and that's pretty much the secret of all maths.
But getting back to the letter, you didn't actually leave its name, funnily enough. But
silly.
Yeah, I mean, if you are listening, letter writer, you can contact us at facebook.com/DUM Brighton, or get in touch with us through our soundcloud.com/DUM Brighton, or at Byron Mug, or at MitchWadeCole.
Yes, definitely. And so come to the end of the show now. I had a good time. Gonna have a tune to pay you off. It's called I wish I knew what it was called, to be honest with you.
I'm editing out this moment in time.